Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio, episode 231. I'm April Perry, and here at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are overwhelmed by the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. And inside of our STEP program, Steps to Everyday Productivity, we help our members to build a command central. And I talk a lot about organizing and projects and tasks and lists and all kinds of things throughout the podcast and on our YouTube channel and throughout the website. But today I've just been thinking about the voices of our community members that have either been shared through audio recordings or through written messages we received. And I want to highlight 3 of them today. I feel so inspired as I watch how you are putting this into action. This isn't just a program where people come in and just check off modules. This is a system that people are taking into their lives and into their families and homes, and they're making beautiful things happen as they're getting out of that overwhelm. And as I listen and as I read what's going on, I am just floored by it, to be honest, because, I'm doing my little part over here, but you're the ones doing the real work. Like, you're the step heroes, I guess I would say. And I listen and I read and I watch what's happening and what you're going through and how so many of you are going through things that are so much harder than things I've had to go through. But you're standing up and you're doing what you can and you're moving forward in such beautiful ways. So I just thought, let me just highlight a few of our step heroes. And I want you to know there's so many. I'm just picking 3 for today. But I hope that as you listen to these stories, that you will be able to feel inspired and encouraged, and that you will know, no matter where you are right now and what's going on, that there's hope for you as well. So, okay, we're going to start out with Rebecca. She was part of our 4 weeks to finish group that we did a while ago. And so you'll just hear her reference that experience. But essentially, 4 weeks to finish takes you through the STEP program. It just does it with a group and in a 4-week time period. So you can learn more about it on the website. We'll have a link there as well. But Rebecca will be talking about the 4 weeks to finished. And anyway, I just hope you'll enjoy hearing her beautiful story.
First of all, thank you so much. I feel like I first found out about you guys, I think 8 years ago after my first son was born. I joined the STEP program, and it has been like this backbone that I have attempted to come back to, and not just attempted, come back to in different formats over the years. And I had a pretty intense initiation into motherhood where all of my first 2 kids had serious NICU stays, and our 3rd child, we lost him 2 years ago. He passed away, and I'm going to get emotional. I got so behind in life, just everything stacked up, and it became so overwhelming to prioritize, to figure out what's right, not just in the day-to-day, but in my grief, in tending to this community that tended to us and saying thank you. Everything was I just felt like there was this mountain at my back forever. And I came back, in the last, I spent, 2 years kind of in deep grief, but came back, and this 4 weeks to finish has been such a game changer, because it really was able to map out that mountain of history, that mountain of what is it going to take to get current, and what is it going to take to kind of, and also what do I need to let go of? I think so much of it, weaving through the emotional parts with the tangible, practical parts, has been really, really useful, right? So I'm so grateful that every time I kind of come back and work the system, I get a little bit further. Sometimes I start a new app or start a new digital situation, and then I have another project to go clean up the last one. But I think I landed in this 4 weeks to finish. I'm on Asana and I'm using it and I'm like, moving Evernote over to this. So I feel like that was a huge win. And then the other huge part that I think, coming from motherhood and like, if I was going to talk to any moms coming into this, particularly with young children, if you're the person that is kind of the CEO type person of the house, that you need a system. Like it's just bananas with children, school age children. I am just finding that it's so crazy to not actually treat it as if it's a business in some ways with all of these things, and to try and like act like I can hold all the routines and all the tasks and all the things in my head. It's just like it's too much, and you actually need to treat it and like this is my life. And so that has been kind of like going professional mothering like,
Love
from the
that.
details. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. You're so inspiring. And I just want to give you a big hug right now through the computer because it's amazing. There's so many things I want to pull out, but I'll keep it brief. First of all, I just want to acknowledge you because you took time to grieve. Recognizing you can't do everything all at once. And that makes sense because in any human situation, we aren't here to just do a bunch of stuff, right? Like there's so much meaning and so much emotion and connection and wanting to honor the relationships. Like, so I love that you did that, but I love that you said, okay, what can I do to make sense of this mountain? Because there was a lot that I'm sure as you're going through and you're like, oh man, I wish I didn't have to do this, or I wish that this had taken care of itself or whatever. But you went and you faced it and you figured out the map and you did it because like, I think one of the things that drives me the most is knowing that there are other, not just mothers, but individuals who are living with that and who just live with it every day for their whole life because they don't know what else to do. And I think particularly as a mother, like that's when I first started doing this and started teaching. I used to just teach mothers how to do this because I felt like, in business, there's so many opportunities to learn things and, growth and development, and they've got whole teams in charge of organizing projects. And then you've got a home and you've got all these people and everyone.
Some of them are tiny and crazy and make it worse.
Crazy, big words. And then they tell you, oh, don't worry about your to-do list, just like enjoy being a mom. And you're like, I would love to enjoy being a mom, but someone's got to figure out all these things, And so it just like, it really touches me to see you and to see what you've done and what you're continuing to do. Because like, it's a big deal. And whether it's raising children or running a company or helping with, aging parents or whatever, like that there's this beautiful purpose that we each have in our lives. And when you can have some system that's going to help you, it's like it makes a difference. So I just want to acknowledge you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. And it does, and I acknowledge you guys for having an offering like to do this because it's such a massive thing. I mean, just even in the grief process, right? Like, yes, I did the deep dive, the emotional work, the therapy, but like tending to the like physicalities of our lives impact our well-being so much. And I just believe so much in that. And I think that, what you guys are doing is just a really beautiful, loving, compassionate system that also is super grounded. And so thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very, very kind. Yeah. I'm just going to try to keep track of like words like incrementality or working the system. Like you keep working the system because we all work in our own ways, right? And we adapt it to our families, our lives, and our work needs. But it's an amazing thing when you find that system, like that it's going to help you progress toward the goals and dreams you have. So
and check the comments, Rebecca, because there's a whole bunch for you.
Super inspiring, Rebecca. So you're amazing, and thank you so much for sharing with us.
I hope that beautiful story and experience shared by Rebecca inspired you as much as it inspired us. As I re-listened, I just kept thinking how amazed I am and how grateful as I'm able to watch these kinds of things unfold. So thank you again, Rebecca, for being willing to share that with us. Next, I'm going to introduce you to Suzanne. Suzanne was also in our 4 Weeks to Finish program. We do a reunion call at the end of it. We invite people to share their stories. So that's how we get these beautiful audio interviews. But Suzanne's story inspired me as well. And I can't wait for you to hear hers.
I am so grateful for this I'm not even, I don't even, I'm talking to it, to people out in the world about it. And I'm still finding the right words because of course I have your language, but like, what's my translated language for the transformation that's happened? And it really is transforming the way I manage and process the details of my life in a brand new way after 60 plus years. So I'm extraordinarily grateful, especially in this maturing, eldering process of realizing that I can't multitask in the same way, and I don't want to.
I love that. I love that.
That's the bigger thing. I want to be more present and more focused. So yes, September was our prep month before being gone almost the entire month of October. And I really was able to set up a command central before we left on the first trip. My main inbox, not all my email inboxes, but my main at 0. And while we were gone, I was able to kind of just, especially with emails, because that was mostly what I was seeing, keep up, move them into the boxes they needed to be in, throw something in my calendar and put it in the tickler. So I definitely have catch up, but I'm not stressed by the catch up.
Yeah. Well, and can you share what, a little bit in the email, you'd mentioned that before you'd done step or built a command central, what was it like prior to a trip?
Prior to a trip, was always very stressful, very, very late nights. Why is it that we think that we want to get so many projects done before we go and not really possible, but then get stressed by that? So I was also able to just say, these projects don't have to get done before I go. They will be here when I get back. I haven't lost the details. I haven't lost the prioritizing.
Oh, okay.
And it let me just relax into a very full September. Absolutely. It was very, very busy. I still had some late nights, but I literally could go to bed thinking it's handled.
It's handled. Okay.
It's handled.
See, and I love what you just hit the nail. I think you hit the nail on the head, because you said before you wanted to get all the projects done because you were afraid the details would be lost. And I think that's something really common that all of us would feel like, oh, if you have 85 details for each of 7 projects in your mind, you think, well, once I go on vacation, there's no way I'm going to remember everything for every project. And so I'm just going to lose ground. So it's better for me to just get it all done and exhaust myself so that it's not harder and I don't have to dread it the whole time I'm on the trip, right?
Yes.
Learning how to put the details somewhere where you wouldn't miss them when you got back.
Exactly. And also the permission, this isn't new, but this is where we get it at deeper levels. The permission to not get it all done. To be okay, to be okay with, of the 100 projects I have captured, I may get just a fraction of those done by choice in the next few months. And that's okay. And before, I think the biggest transformation for me is before I used to hold everything as urgent, important, and must get it done, must get it done. And now I'm able to let go of things that aren't going to serve my life or my family's life.
Yes. And that's successful. It's like, I think it's like kind of changing the definition of success, right?
Yes,
where
absolutely.
I think we're like soul sisters, where I was like, oh, I must do everything to be successful. Like, by whose standard? Who is it? Who's like leaning over you with the checklist? It's like, nobody.
Exactly. And not only my stuff, but kind of have an eye out and an ear out for other people's stuff.
Yes.
My spouse's things. Like, I have to be sure that happens, right?
The concern about other people's radar, right?
Right. And my radar is good enough. My radar is good enough.
Well, I got to ask a quick poll of all of the finishers here on the call. And I think what Suzanne just touched on was, like, I think universal for most of us. How many of you are actually getting ready to get on a plane or in a car to go on a trip? You feel this weird human urgency to, like, jump in and do a bunch of projects you weren't urgent to do before? Maybe just raise your hands on the screen, or like,
type yes.
Or type yes, or raise your hand on that icon. Is it the weirdest thing? Like, literally, you're about to go do something fun. Like, but before I go, I must do these 7 projects I haven't been working on for 6 months.
Organize the bathroom and decorate.
It is such a funny human phenomenon. It's like, I think this mind sweep, right? This getting it all out and knowing that they're captured, knowing the details are there and you can pick up when you get home is such a a tranquil, peaceful, kind of
Yeah.
comforting type thing. So
funny.
it is such a funny phenomenon out there.
Yeah, Suzanne.
Yeah, if I may just add, so the major project in my life is cleaning out my mom's home and preparing it for sale. And because of my commitment to 4 weeks to finish, which was in the me column, that was revolutionary. I was actually able to say comfortably, I am not going to get anything done on that project this month, nor during October, and I will return to it in November.
Beautiful.
And that permission, without feeling like I'm failing or I'm not getting it done, that was amazing.
How did you notice your mood changing too? Or did you notice that as well? That's the thing I noticed about myself. It's like when I give myself the permission to not do it, I
would say it allowed me to be lighter. If I got grumpy, the grumpies were shorter.
we'll still get grumpy or whatever.
I think it allowed me to feel lighter, and the process of self-permission to just whatever I was feeling, be with that, and that's okay, and to not be self-judging around what I wasn't getting done. But that was uplifting.
That's awesome. And any other final words you would give to someone who's thinking, well, but I couldn't really get myself organized, or I just have too much going on, or this just feels too hard? What would you say?
One of the things that has resonated with me most of my adult life is a belief in incrementality. And one of the resonant points for me with everything you do is incrementality. And we're not perfect. We don't have to be perfect. I love whoever makes their inboxes out of cereal boxes. I mean, I'm so inspired by those folks. But every little piece of this moves us forward, and as you have so well showed us, begins to rewire our brain to do things differently. And that doesn't happen overnight, especially when our brains are older. So just take the first step and give yourself permission to not be perfect.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And it kind of reminds me of like a phrase I've shared before, I think maybe in Rise as well, but just that idea of inch by inch, life's a cinch, yard by yard, life is hard, right? Just this incrementality, it's powerful. So thank you so much for sharing that, Suzanne.
Okay, my goodness, I'm sitting here listening to them again, and I'm just grateful, and I'm in awe, and I'm just grateful for the chance that we have to come together to help one another to get on the same page, and to be able to have that compassion for each other, and be able to help say, you know what, we don't have to do everything all at the same time, and we can change the way our brains work, and we can move forward on the things that matter most. So that was just beautiful, Suzanne. So thank you again for sharing. This last one, it was written, so I don't have the audio, but this is from Laura. And she just posted a couple of photos and said, I went through the modules in 3 days after I took my kids to their aunt and uncle's far away. Here's my before and after. So she had a before, and I'll put these photos on the show notes page so you can see them. But the before is fine. Like, it was just a desk that had a lot of stuff on it, and, it's kind of some piles of things. But it wasn't terrible. It looked actually pretty good. But then she shows her after, and she's got, everything, all the step printouts posted, and the desk is totally clear, and the command central is built, and you could just feel this beautiful, uplifting difference, because now her mind is organized. And so our team member Candace reached out to see if Laura would mind if we shared her photos and, her experience. And in her response, she said, "Oh, wow, really? Yes, I'm okay with that. Thank you." And then she said, "Something I might mention to you. I am a homeschool mom for now 27 years. We adopted 2 boys 5 years ago, and they are in grades 1 and 3. 2 years ago, my husband was in a terrible accident that he should have died in, but he had a traumatic brain injury. He has had a miraculous recovery, but he's not 100% yet. All to say, I've been living like a single mom to these adopted children since his accident. I saw Learn, Do, Become years ago and decided someday I want to buy it. A week ago, I took the boys to their aunt and uncle's house 7 hours away. They wanted to give me a break from parenting and homeschooling because it was wearing me down. So now I had a week to buy the system and get it set up, no distractions. I knew my time alone would be short, so I did the shortest schedule and threw myself into it. I remember the day I read this because I was standing in the kitchen and I said, Eric, hang on, I need to share this with you. So I read it out loud to Eric and I just said, it feels amazing to see Laura. I don't know how long she's been in our community, but that she was able to get this little reprieve from a very demanding life caring for others. And she chose to come build a command central because she knew it would make her life better. This is what motivates me to want to do the work that I'm doing. A few podcast episodes ago, I was talking about going from fear and duty to love and my motivation for my work. And this is what I'm talking about. Because in a lot of the coaching groups and conferences and the things that I've been doing to try to learn more about how to serve and grow here at Learn, Do, Become, the emphasis is often on here's how to make a lot of money, here's how to be famous, here's how to feed your ego. Like, there's so much of that. And that doesn't motivate me. I don't want a bigger ego. I want to make my ego smaller and get rid of it. I'm not here to build myself up. But what I want is to be able to help people like Laura or Suzanne or Rebecca. Those are just a few examples from today. People who love their families and their friends and who are doing really important work, but who have felt pretty weighed down. And I know how it feels to be weighed down. I'm guessing you do too. And so our work at Learn, Do, Become, yes, part of it is making the programs really easy so that the next time someone has 10 hours even, they could just jump in and do it. And it's so basic and simple that anyone can get it done. But the other part is being able to really build what we share here on the podcast and, on our YouTube channel and social media, and to be as clear and direct and generous as possible with information and support so that the people who are drowning, who don't think there's any hope, can know that there is hope. And I just watch you do it. I see you doing it. And this is where I know it's beyond me, because I was in that hole for a long, long time. And I watched my mom live in that hole of overwhelm for her whole life. And my personal belief is that God helped me out and then gave me the stewardship to be able to help others out. And so that's why I'm here. But anyway, I just wanted you to hear their voices today, because it means a lot when you see people fighting for that peace and energy and relief and getting that order so that they can function. I just think it's so inspiring, and you realize you could do that too. And often there aren't a lot of people who are really trying to make your life easier. It feels like, especially inside family work, everyone just assumes you're good. When you are one of the most functional members of society, people often think that you don't need support. But I think we all need support. We all need help. And so I'm just grateful for you. I'm grateful for you being here, and thankful for these beautiful friends, steppers, who are willing to share. So what's next for you? Well, it depends on where you are. If you're already a member of our STEP program, I hope you're logging in and making sure you actually build your command central. You have lifetime access when you join STEP. So please come in and build it. We also have our Arise membership if you want more community and to be part of that. Arisers working with me and Eric and Team Learn, Do, Become each month. If you are brand new and you're thinking, I don't even know what the STEP Command Central is, you can come to learndobecome.com/step and sign up for a free training and learn how to get started building your Command Central. We'll have links and images and all that on the show notes page. But I hope that you'll immerse yourself in this Learn, Do, Become community, because you're going to find amazing friends and mentors and coaches and an environment where we're not here to judge anyone. We're here to offer support so that you can wake up excited and go to bed content and be able to fulfill your unique purpose. I love you and I'm grateful for the chance to have you here. And we will see you soon at learndobecome.com.